Hello and welcome to the first project with Google Sheets using spreadsheets using Google Sheets. So the project link is right inside the assignment. And in this one, the actual data set is a real data set. It's weather data from a weather station near Bemidji, Minnesota. It's daily averages, mins and maxes for various measurements for the year 2016. So it's the whole year, 366 rows of data. There's 366 rows because it was a leap year. So one daily summary for each year. And we're going to take this raw data. This is what it looks like in the raw. I'm going to open it up with a text editor. So this is a CSV file, which means that the data in it is just text separated by commas. So the first row shows your column headings, and each row after that shows the date, the mean temp in Celsius, the max temp in Celsius, the average temperature in Celsius. It's mean, max, and min. And then pressure and humidity, and then how much it rained that day in precipitation. And I believe precipitation is in meters. Seems weird, but I think it is in meters. Other than that, it's in millimeters. I can't remember. Anywho, this is it. This is the actual data. What's cool about this is when you open it, when you click this file in the start file, I'm going to actually go back, open it in a new tab. It'll open it in Google Drive. And then you can say open with Google Sheets, and Google Sheets will automatically parse that CSV file into a file that you can use, into a file that is a spreadsheet. It'll parse it into a spreadsheet, which is kind of handy. And so what I'm going to show you is, for this project, we have to build 5 charts with this data. There are 3 that are extra credit, and I'll let you, and I'll kind of explain what those ones are and how they work and what you can do with them. I do have to close my task manager there. Why isn't this loading? What a pain in the butt. Okay, it finally loaded. One thing you want to do is once it copies over into your Google Drive, you want to move it. You click on the Move button here, and then find a place to put it. Probably some sort of ITECH 100 folder where you keep all your primary files. So for the first part, for all I'm going to walk you through, because these projects are designed to be kind of open-ended, kind of you do try some stuff out on your own kind of thing. So I'm going to walk you through the first 2. And mostly I want to show you a couple of things that you can do with large data sets to make your life a little bit easier. So the first thing you want to do is go down here and click Add Sheet and create a new sheet. And we're just going to call it Charts, because we're going to make all of our charts off of this data set. And this data set has 366 rows of data. If we go all the way down to the bottom, for some reason it goes down to 1,000. I think that's the default for a oh my gosh. There. I think that's the default for a Google Sheet, is they create 1,000 lines. Might as well get rid of these delete rows. Yeah, so 367, but then one row is the first line with the headers and stuff like that. So the first chart asks you to do the following. A line chart showing just the mean temperature throughout the year. So this is what I'll demonstrate here. So how you do this is so for a line chart, you always kind of want the horizontal axis to be time. So we'll select the date column, column A, and then we'll drag our mouse over to column B. So we'll select both columns A and column B. And what that does is that creates our kind of initial data set. So we're going to try to build a chart off of this data set. The button to insert a chart is right here. So we hit Insert Chart, and it'll kind of automatically decide what kind of chart you want, and it is going to decide correctly. You have time, and you have some sort of data series, and we're going to make the time be the horizontal axis, and we're going to make the data series be our line. And it's going to ask this correctly. I mean, you could maybe take a guess at some of these other ones, but this is what we want. We want something like this. So you can see in January it gets super cold, and again over here in December, later on in the year, it gets super cold again, and then of course it's really warm. These temperatures are in Celsius, so they might not be familiar to us when we're used to Fahrenheit, but the conversion isn't too terribly difficult. You could create a calculated column here with our Fahrenheit values, but that's just a big pain in the butt. So one thing I want you to do is get this off of this sheet, because this is our data sheet, and we don't need this here. So one thing I want you to, so select the chart, hit edit and copy, or Control C, and then go over to your charts sheet and hit paste, or Control V, so that it pops up in here, and then put it somewhere safe in here. And then you can go back over here and delete it. So this is what you need to know in order to do this kind of effectively, because it's asking you to create a line chart showing various things, like a column chart showing precipitation throughout the year. How are we going to do that when precipitation's way over here and the time data is way over here? So we need to find a way to select multiple columns that aren't touching each other. And there are two ways to do this. One, you can select a column, then hold down the Control key, and then select any number of other columns. So for the second chart you want to do here, we want a line chart showing mean, min, and max temperature throughout the year. I'll select column A, then start holding the Control key, select column B, C, and D just by clicking on them, and then release the Control key. And you can do this with any of these. Select column A, hold down the Control key, and select mean humidity. So you can select two columns that aren't even touching each other and then create a chart based on that. So the second chart wants these four, and this is what it's going to look like. There's one that's asking for a column chart, so you can just go down and find the column chart. The column charts, bar charts, pie charts. So you should be able to do these without too terribly much difficult. So this is what the second one looks like, the mean, min, and max. And I want you to take a crack at these other five. I'll be around all week, so you guys can text me if you're having any trouble, especially with number 5. I think number 5 is probably the hardest one to get quite right. But most people figure it out eventually. The extra credit ones are a little harder. I did have one student actually successfully complete one of these, or both of them. I can't remember who it was. Actually did both of them. I will give you guys a week to try out the extra credit ones, and then I'll give you guys the solutions, because I do think it's interesting to know how these two charts are done. So one is, see if you can build a chart that shows cumulative precipitation throughout the year. So on number 3, you're just grabbing column A and column K. So how do we get the running tally of precipitation? Because right now it's just going to show you how much it rains each day or how much it snowed each day. How do we get the running total throughout the entire year? Is that something we can feasibly do? And as it turns out, yes, you can. And basically the chart would be over time, and it would continually go up. It'll never go back down, because there's never going to be a day when there was less rain. Like, they can't have negative rain in a day. So it's just kind of like, it'll be like a set of stairs continually going up to the top. And then another fun one is a pie chart that shows the percentage of all the precipitation that has fallen by month. So there should be a 12-slice pie, and each slice should be a slightly different size. If I'm not mistaken, in this data set, August had the most precipitation. So maybe it was July. I don't know. It was one of the summer months anyway. So give it a shot. If you do not get the extra credit ones, do not sweat it. It's not that big of a deal. My philosophy on extra credit is that it's extra. It's something that you do above and beyond. It's much more important that you do these 5 than it is to get these ones done. So I will not be giving hints about these. I want to see who can do it on their own. Anywho, good luck, have fun, and please contact me if you have any questions whatsoever about this one, because I want to make sure that everybody understands how it is that they can get through it. If you're really stumped, I will walk you through any of these five charts here. I won't walk you through these ones, but I will show you guys after the extra credit expires. So good luck, and we'll see you in class.